All right, guys, I'm gonna teach you one of the most coveted secrets in close-up magic, how to not only levitate objects, but how to do the haunted deck. What's a haunted deck? It's an impossible hands-off miracle where their selection magically just like shoots out of the deck and the deck moves by itself. It's great, people will go nuts, and it's fairly easy. I'm not only gonna teach you how to do it, but I'm gonna teach you how to prepare to do it. And we'll get into that right now. So first, let's have a look at what you got in your kit. So if you're watching this, you backed the kit where you get these extra props. This here is your invisible thread. We call it invisible, but it's not. There's the end, and with this elastic thread, you have some sticky tack on the inside. So that's it's like beeswax, but it acts as like a sticky tack. You can also use sticky tack. That's something that I prefer using, but that works fine as well. And I'm going to show you how to tie it. It's very, very delicate, easy to break, so don't be so frustrated. But for explanation purposes, I'm going to be using a shoestring so that you guys see, or else you'll just see me doing hand movements in the air and it'll make no sense. So what you want to do is you want to grab some thread. See, I don't actually have any, but it looked like I did. You want to grab some thread, and on the end of that thread, you want to put that sticky tack, this stuff right here. So you want to grab some, unwind it, hold it out. Grab about a foot worth, so about that long. Not stretched out that long, but if it's not stretched out, just about that long. All right, so if you stretch it, it'll be like that long. You just want about that long. Once you have that stretched out, you've got your sticky tack over here. So what I'll do, I'll just tie a knot so that you guys remember where my sticky tack is. So I have my sticky tack over here. You want to snap it off, really easy to break, and that gives you this thread right here, okay? Once you have that, once that's snapped off, you're going to hold it by this end. So once you've broken it, don't let go, because if you lose it, it'll like jump back up, it'll disappear. You snap it, you hold this end. Now the sticky tack is on the bottom. You're going to take your left wrist. You're going to place the circle or the thread over your wrist. Squeeze that sticky tack. So now you have this connection over here. You can even fold that tack in on itself to make sure that those threads really are stuck to that and they're not going anywhere, okay? So for the sake of this, I'll just take my thread and loop it into there, okay? So now you're holding this like this. Very, very simple. Once you're here, you're going to grab this like this with your thumb and index. You're going to go around your middle finger, open your index and middle finger, and drop the sticky tack through there. You're just going to drop it through. Now it's much easier to do with elastic thread. So you drop it through and then you loop it right back through. Just like that. And then a third time. Now I can't do it 3 times because this is not elastic. Well, maybe I can. Ugh. And a third time. So once that's through, you're left here. You want to pull on this. What it'll do is it'll tighten and it'll make a knot right there. The knot will obviously be a lot smaller. Give it an extra pull just so it tightens up, and not too hard because it'll snap. And once you're done, leave a very small amount of excess. Snap that off, throw that away, and it should be around your wrist, and it should look, the camera won't pick this up, but I'm holding one right now. Maybe in the proper light you can kind of see it. Not at all. So it's around your wrist right here, and then you're ready to go. So if you need to know how to tie that, look back. What I'm going to do actually, I'll tie one up so you can just see the motions that I'm doing here. Unfortunately, you probably won't see, you won't see the thread, you won't see anything else going on, but you will see the motions that I'm using and maybe even see a bit of how strong I'm pulling on it. and that might help you a little bit. So you want to unwind. So I've got about, stretched out, I want about a foot. Just like so. Be gentle. Okay. So I've got that much. I'm going to break it off right there. I'm going to loop it around. So you see this thing floating right here. It's kind of magical to you guys. I'm going to loop it around my wrist. And here, I'm going to grab that end. I'm going to take this and I'm going to join it to that. So now I've got both ends right here. Okay? Once you've got both ends, you're going to stretch it out just a bit. You're going to pinch here. And just like I mentioned, you're going to loop around your middle finger and index, just like so. And drop it once, twice, and 3 times. Pull it out. Tighten it up. Break it just above the knot. You can put your sticky tack back with your elastic thread. And here you go. You have a brand new elastic circle. All right, so I'm going to run through this one more time because it's a very, very important thing. And if you want, you're going to get this wax. This wax is okay. It's good to stick on things if you're going to float a card or if you're going to float anything else. But to tie these elastic bands, you're definitely going to need sticky tack. So you want to get out there, you want to go to the office supply store and just buy some blue or red sticky tack. It'll last you forever and it's so much easier to work with than this wax. This wax is mainly for hookups if you're going to hook it up to a playing card or anywhere else and make things float. But for tying elastic bands, you'll need sticky tack. So the sticky tack, once again, I'm going to tie this in a knot right here. And that'll be our end with the sticky tack, okay? So you've taken it off the spool, okay? You've snapped it off here. You're holding this with the sticky tack on the bottom. You're going to bring your wrist in, go around, hold this, grab the sticky tack, stick that so you're holding this, right? So you're holding this and you're bringing that up. I'll just tie that on so it stays there. So now my sticky tack has been connected. I'm going to take it back and I'm going to stretch it out gently, very gently once again because this is very fragile stuff. You're going to pinch low as you can, not up here. You're going to pinch low and you're going to wrap it around that finger and drop it through that hole that you've just created right there. And you're going to do that 2 and 3 times. Once that's done 3 times, you extend, you can bring the knot down if you can a little bit, tighten it, make sure it's okay. Just above the knot, snap it off, and your elastic band will be ready to go. However, one thing you're gonna have to keep in mind, you're gonna have to warm these elastic bands up. Like rubber bands, if you just go ahead and tear at them, they'll snap. So you gotta kind of have to warm them up, warm up the molecules so that they become a little bit more flexible. And the way to do that is you find the opening, you put your hand in there, and you basically just roll around like this. And you'll feel the tension start to get wider and wider. And once you feel that it's fine, you just let it go, place it, keep it on your wrist, and you'll be ready to perform.